Which sounds like we've got the thumbs up to get going on this one. So to tell you all about today's flying from the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, please welcome Flying Officer Adam Dyer.
Thank you, George, and good afternoon, Southport, and welcome to the Royal Air Force Battle of Britain Memorial Flight display for 2019. To get your cameras ready, look to the right-hand side. We'll see the Dakota flanked by the Hurricane and the Spitfire in our true memorial formation. Give them a big wave as they come past for the first of the memorial passes. Beautiful engines. Today we have a Hurricane with a Merlin engine fitted. We have a MK19 Spitfire with the Griffen power plant, and then we have the two Pratt & Whitneys that are powering the Dakota. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little something special for yourselves. There's a local Southport man who has sadly passed away at the ripe old age of 97. So the first of our fighter fillers will be dedicated to Mr. Proctor, who was a Hurricane pilot and did many test flights well into the 50s with later models of aircraft. Our pilot today is Squadron Leader Mark Sugden, who will be flying the Hurricane, so watch out as they come through. For the first of the fighter fillers, we're going to see Mark waggle the wings of the Hurricane as a little dedication to Mr. Proctor today. And now to see this beautiful memorial formation coming through, we'll have Flight Lieutenant Neil Farrell as the pilot in the Dakota. Flight Lieutenant Andy Priest is working hard in the Spitfire to keep the formation as tight as possible. And we have Squadron Leader Mark Sugden in the Hurricane. Making all of this work, we have Sergeant Jay Warden that is sat in the back of the Dakota. He will be watching out of the door, making sure the formation is close and tight and feeding back to the pilots any information that they need at this point. So get ready to give them a big wave as they come through for the second memorial pass. There we hear fast calling the instructions. The next we're going to hear is fighters break, break, go as we get ready for the first of the fighter displays. Break, break, go! Fast as giving the call, we hear fighters break, break, go. We'll see the Hurricane peeling round, getting ready for the first of the fighter filler, with the Dakota to follow as the Spitfire will go crowd left and line herself up for the first of the display. Now this pass is dedicated to Mr. Proctor, so if you all take a moment to give him a big wave as he comes through. Six will be waving the wings of our aircraft today, and we do hope that the family remember this momentous occasion. And there's that beautiful slow waggle of the wings from the Hurricane today. See the Hurricane depart off the crowd line. We'll see the Dakota coming in. All the aircraft need to know where they are in the sky, so Dakota will call Dakota threshold. We'll hear Spitfire tally. This means that the pilots know exactly where they are in the sky and they can line themselves up for the next part of the display. Two Pratt & Whitney engines of our Dakota today. If you'll bring your eyes to the left-hand side, we should see Andy coming down the hill in the MK19 Spitfire around 250 knots. He'll be running in. You'll hear the power plant of the Griffen engine of this MK19 getting ready for the first of the fighter displays. gorgeous Mark 19 aircraft was built at Reading, too late to see service in World War II. This aircraft was unarmed, however had a pressurised cockpit, so often flew to heights of more than 40,000 feet. PM631 is presented in 541 Squadron colours, who performed photographic reconnaissance missions over Europe. Later, after being modified for meteorological work, she was flown by civilian pilots with a temperature and humidity monitoring flight based at Hutton Park and Woodvale, just down the road from us today. Temperature and humidity monitoring flight made daily ascents to 30,000 feet to gather meteorological information. This aircraft, on July the 11th, 1957, was flown to Biggin Hill from Duxford by World War II fighter ace Group Captain Jamie Rankin, DSO DFC, in formation with two other THUM Flight Mark 19 Spitfires, PS853 and PS915, to form the historic aircraft flight, which later evolved into the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. Displaying this superb aircraft today, we have Flight Lieutenant Andy Priest, one of only two full-time pilots on the squadron. Andy is the BBMF's operation officer and joined the flight at the end of 2015. Andy has had a very varied flying career, having flown the Tornado GR1, the Harrier GR7, Hawk, Domini and the Mighty Tutor. He has over 4,000 hours on 13 different aircraft types. You may well have seen Andy before when he was on the Tutor display. However, nowadays he currently flies the Hurricane and the Spitfire for BBMF and also trains our newest fighter pilots on the Chipmunk aircraft. And there's the sound of that gorgeous Griffen engine. As we see Andy pull up for the derry, this is a manoeuvre where the aircraft will look to go right, however he will spin left with the aircraft now, and then he'll pull it back right, round to come down the hill to the next of the fighter passes. This next second half of the display, we're going to see Andy banking round the hill. The Hurricane will be out at a crowd right and should be getting ready to start the second fighter display. And while the BBMS have 12 aircraft and 5 different types, it actually only has 30 engineers as well as 4 civil servants and our pilots that work on the team. Our team, led by Squadron Leader Mark Discoom, OC BBMF. This small team of dedicated people ensures that the BBMF is seen throughout the country from May to September every year. In fact, this year, the BBMF is scheduled to appear at around 100 displays and some 1,000 flypasts. This weekend alone, we have completed 37 flypasts, and this is our 3rd display of the weekend. Making all of this work in the background are our flight engineers, led by Squadron Leader Luke Waskett Booth, Warrant Officer Chris York and Flight Sergeant Dave Burke. Our 30 engineers have worked tirelessly to ensure that the BBMF aircraft are kept in excellent condition, conducting deep maintenance over winter and keeping them airworthy in the summer. Now we see Andy rolling out of the horseshoe turn. We're now going to see him come up into another Spitfire derry. He's going to be lining himself up to come down the hill and ready for the first Spitfire victory roll. As all of this happens, we have Squadron Leader Mark Sugden, who will be lining himself up at crowd right. He's going to aim to fly below the Spitfire as she victory rolls in front of you today. This is a great photo opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. We can see left Andy coming down the hill. On the right hand side we have Suggs lining the Hurricane up. So get your cameras ready for the first of the fighter takeovers. Andy today. So as we see Andy depart, please welcome Squadron Leader Mark Sugden onto the display line, piloting Hurricane IL363 today. IL363 was built at the Hawker factory at Langley near Slough. It first flew in January 1944 and is amongst the last Hurricanes to enter service with the Royal Air Force. The Hurricane's power plant today is a V12 Merlin engine with a supercharger fitted, so every time the aircraft is coming towards us we'll hear that lovely whine of the supercharger compared to the Griffen engine of the Mark 19. This aircraft serves number 63 Squadron at Turnhouse, number 309 Polish Squadron at Drem, where it was used on shipping protection patrols off the east coast of Scotland, and number 26 Squadron, with which it flew naval artillery spotting and reconnaissance sorties before the end of the war. IL363 suffered a major accident on the 11th of September 1991 when, as a result of an engine failure, it crashed on the runway at Royal Air Force Wittering. This aircraft was seriously damaged by the impact and the ensuing fierce fire. Fortunately, the BBMF pilot escaped with only minor injuries. Subsequently, IL363 was rebuilt by the Historic Flying Limited between 1994 and 1998, and then rejoined the BBMF after 7 years out of action. She has been with us ever since. Piloting our gorgeous Hurricane today is Squadron Leader Mark Sugden. He's beginning his second season this year with the flight. On completion of flying training, he was posted to the Tornado F3 and to 43 Squadron at Royal Air Force Lucas. During his time, he has participated in multinational exercises across Europe, the Middle East and the US,